While the U.S. trade war and its effect on the economy continues to dominate the federal election campaign, social issues remain a key focus for voters in Belleville, Ontario. The small city has been dealing with a major drug problem. In fact, it even declared a state of emergency last year following a surge of overdoses. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick has been talking to voters there and asking if anything has changed. Megan, good to see you. How is that particular community doing now, a year after the state of emergency?
Hi, Natasha. Well, we're in a popular coffee shop in downtown Belleville, and we've been spending time in this city since yesterday and speaking to a number of stakeholders who have been on the front lines, really, of some of those challenges, which include both drug use and overdoses. There's also a challenge of homelessness in this community that we're hearing about as well. But as for that state of emergency that was declared last year, we're being told that things have changed since last year for the better, but there's still a lot of work to do. We met with the city's mayor yesterday. We met with the director of a drop-in center. We met with others that are working on these issues. And they are saying that the state of emergency did help draw attention to some of these issues and helped draw some funding from both the provincial and the federal governments. And some of that funding is being used for a new permanent drop-in center that's under construction right now, as well as funding for transitional housing units. So progress like that is being made. They're also telling me there's a really a stronger sense of collaboration among stakeholders in the city, in the community, to try and address these challenges. So a lot of work still needs to be done here. They were telling me a lot of needs in the community. And I was asking them in terms of how this plays out on the federal election campaign and what they want to hear from the party leaders, what are their priorities as it pertains to the work that they're doing here in Belleville. And one of the common themes I kept hearing about was the need for affordable housing. Here's a little bit of what I heard about that.
I think that those are something that would be really beneficial to our communities. We need affordable housing and we need extremely affordable housing. So those are the things that I'm looking for when talking about federal government elections.
Increased investment in community mental health is incredibly needed. We're seeing an increase in people struggling with mental health and addictions post-pandemic without a lot of investment coming into the community mental health and addiction sector.
And the first speaker there, Ashley, was responding to, she says she's been hearing about promises for housing on the campaign trail, like help for Canadians to help purchase homes, and that's all well and good. But again, her main point, Natasha, was about the need for affordable housing for people in this community, and then Lisa talking about the need for better access to community-based mental health care. We also heard about challenges accessing health care in general when I spoke to the city's mayor as well. They've had a big recruitment campaign on in this city to try and get more family doctors in this city. So a lot of issues like that. But overall, from what I'm hearing in terms of the state of emergency last year to now, they're saying progress has been made, but still a lot of challenges. There are still major issues here in the city.
And more broadly, what are you hearing from the voters about the campaign so far?
Well, they have been talking to me about some of those local issues that some of them are saying they would like to hear more about from the party leaders. A lot of people saying that the campaign has been dominated by talk about Donald Trump and the tariff war, and they'd like to hear more about other issues, including healthcare, for example. I heard from some voters who said opportunities for young people to find jobs is a key issue. They were telling me about their son who's in his 20s who goes to school and he can't find a part-time job to help pay for school. So I've been hearing about a range of other issues in addition to the tariff war and how that's dominating the campaign. Here's a sampling of what I've been hearing from some voters.
I believe that the cost of living, the tariff war, the trade war with the U.S. is of the most important problem right now, and I'm very impressed with Prime Minister Carney at the time.
The talk is a lot of Trump, which I get, but I'd really rather hear about what's happening in Canada.
Like, we've been complaining about the carbon tax for years, and now right before the election they're going to drop it, and I can't believe people are that gullible to go, okay, it's all going to be different now, because maybe I'm cynical. The day after the election, if we get the same government, I think it's coming right back.
And I've also been talking to business owners in this city. Natasha, and they've been telling me about what they would like to see from the party leaders in terms of support for small businesses in communities like this one. They're talking about how critical these kinds of businesses are to local economies here. I met one young man who's 25 years old and owns a men's clothing store on the main street just a few blocks away from where we are, and he said he would like to hear from the party leaders about their plans to support young entrepreneurs like him and to help with the transition of people, older people that own businesses and are set to retire, passing those businesses on to younger people like himself who are eager to be business owners. So that was one issue that he raised. And I've been hearing in general people saying that they feel like this is a really consequential election, the most important election we've had in Canada for quite some time. And they say they're very eager to vote and encouraging their fellow Canadians to do the same.
Megan Fitzpatrick in Belleville, Ontario, thank you.